How has life changed for you and the camp and your family and the team since you won the title in Salt Lake?
Um, it's changed gradually, because I've been winning now for a long time. I've lost a fight in 8 years, but as far as obviously more people noticing you, more red carpet, red carpet moments, financially it's changed, and yeah. But apart from that, it's got the same people around me, same team around me. Still training in the UK, and so yeah, it's all good.
And how has camp been not having to worry about the altitude of Salt Lake? Because we've talked to a few of the UK fighters here, and they said they think the altitude played a much bigger factor than people are giving credit to.
Yeah, 100%. I feel you can see from an example like when Cain Velasquez fought Verdun, was it, at altitude, and he was known as Cardio Kane, and then he tired after like a round or two, and so I think altitude definitely played a part in my performance. So I just couldn't get my body to move the way I wanted to move. Round one started off great, then after that it just kind of just went and shut down, and I know Kamaru was trying to he's using that as a way that oh yeah you was tired in the fight, and whether I was tired or not, you got knocked out, and that's it, So, end of the day, that's all that matters.
Before your fight with Leon, a lot of the conversation was all these records and everything, and you always kind of no-sold it. You said, that's not my focus. Has that changed at all? Like, is the focus on beating Leon? Is it getting the belt back? Or what is the focus this camp?
No, that was never my focus, which is why I feel a lot of people are saying, oh, well, the way you handled it this way or that way. And, I don't care. I've been over 300 wrestling matches before to where you might get beat this weekend, but guess what? You got another one next weekend. You got to be able to get yourself back up for that. And I've been doing that for a long, long time. So, the focus is the same as it always is each and every time. I go in there to dominate. I go in there to win. That has never changed. And with my preparation, I try to make sure that always happens.
What do you make of Kamaru? Like, he's done a lot of media this week specifically saying, like, he was winning that whole fight. He still doesn't see anything that you present that shows you're the better fighter outside of, like, kicking him in the head.
Oh, God. I think if you get knocked out like that, he has to find something to clutch onto, right? He needs to build that confidence back up, because going into it, he thought he could never be taken down, he could never be hurt or knocked out, and so I think he has to find something to clutch onto, and that's what he was winning the fight, but who cares? Like I said, it goes down as you getting out cold headshot, and that's all that matters. And when it's all said and done, winners win, and even on my worst day, my worst performance, I'll still knock you out. So winners win, like I say.
So going off of that, does it bother you that he's above you still in the pound-for-pound rankings?
No, I don't really follow the rankings, the stats, so it is what it is. I've been underdog in some fights, I've been favorites in some fights, and either way I won. I haven't lost a fight in 8 years, and it is what it is.
Given how the last fight was playing out up until the end, how much did you have, or if anything, do you have to change in camp or preparation or game plan, given you, like, a few minutes later, you most likely would have had your hand raised?
Well, for one, keep your damn hands up so you don't get kicked in the head. That's important. But it's been from the beginning of my career to where I am now. If you watch the way that I fight and you've seen all my performances, how much more do I need to change? I've been blessed with coaches that know how to get to me, that know how to just give me directions to where what I'm doing, what I've been doing is working. I go so hard in training camps in preparing for these fights to where I have that much of a gap on everybody just because of how much I prepare. So, this camp was basically correcting, little mistakes that I made in the fight. That was the sole purpose of it. And, Saturday, once I go out there and I correct those mistakes, I mean, how's the loss happen?
So then my last question is, what does the headline read? How do you see this fight playing out, the trilogy fight against Kamaru Usman?
Just making it into a mixed martial arts fight, being back home, using the crowd energy to spur me on, and just going out there and just show off, and that's my aim this fight. Just show my abilities and just perform to the best of my abilities. And like I said, I've never lost in the UK. I always draw the energies from being around my friends, my family, and it's gonna be a great performance, you know.
Leon, over here, right in front of you. Sorry. A lot of his strategy in the last fight was a lot of wrestling. But you guys did stand a little bit. What did you make of his striking? Because obviously he had knocked out a lot of guys. So based off of your striking exchanges, what did you think of his striking?
It was alright. It was good, you know. Like it does every fight, every boxing, heavy front forward pressure, heavy wrestling. You know, I think his game plan is pretty similar in every fight he fights. You know, but like I said, even on the worst day, you just kind of just like, even though I was tired, he couldn't hurt me. You know, I wasn't hurt. Really, it's more of a fatigue issue. You just start wailing at my gloves and just I was like, just catching it all on my gloves, you know. And but like I said, even my worst day, I defeated him. But like I said, he's improved from when we first fought. But so have I, you know.
Then also given how the last fight was playing out, do you think fans outside of the UK, do you think they view Leon as the champion, or do they see like the 20-something minutes of that fight and then the one moment at the end, and they still consider you the better fighter between the two?
No, I can't say that he has the belt, so, you know, by definition, he's called the champion. He's the champion. I don't know. That's for them to decide. I don't know how people view him. But between him and we know how we know. And so I can't really speak for everybody else, but you know, he is the champion because he has that belt. But Saturday, I'm going to go take that off of him. And that's truly my focus. I mean, he landed a beautiful kick. It's beautiful. I mean, I watched the shit because obviously they show it a million times. You know, that was the only damn highlight from him they could show in that fight, but they show it a million times, and I'm just like, it's a beautiful kick. I mean, just the recoil and everything, you know, I'm a fan of it.
So going off of that last one for me, we've all seen the video clip of immediately after you're backstage and you look at the camera and you say, like, congratulations, Rocky, see you soon. So did you have to mentally reset, or is it right back into like, I got to prepare for Leon Edwards right away again?
I've just been trained that way. You know, you could be in the first wrestling match of the national tournament and get pinned. Well, now you got 7 more or however many more coming back in order to be able to get on that awards podium. And so I'm just wired that way.
Kamaru?
As soon as we got to that hospital, I was just like, damn, okay, let's get ready for the next one. And so, yeah, it's you know, it was a beautiful technique. Great win from him, but it's time for me to go in there and get violent.
And in the first round, you were able to get him down and take his back. So do you look at that and say, why don't I wrestle some more? Or obviously you had that amazing knockout, so do you think you should keep on the feet?
No, I'll make it into a mixed martial arts fight, you know. I will try and go for the takedown. I will be attacking submissions and also try to knock him out, you know. And I know I can do all these things. I've done it in the last fight, and so I'll do more of that.
And speaking of, sorry, one last one. And speaking of the altitude, were you watching that co-main event between Costa and Rocco?
Yeah,
Because they were exhausted, and were you thinking, oh no?
Yeah, oh shit, they got me. I was watching it. 'Cause I trained Luke before, and I know how fit Luke is, you know, and I know he was in shape. And when I was backstage warming up, and I was like watching it on the screen, I seen like putting his hands on his knees and just showing like fatigue, and I thought, oh God, like it's gonna play a part, you know, and that it did, you know, it did play a part. But like I said, that's all behind me now, and I've wiped it, enjoyed it when it happened, the knockout. But now we're on to a new chapter, and I truly believe this is my time, and I will show that Saturday night.
Leon talks about the altitude and how it had an effect on him. Do you think your style, regardless, your pressure, your wrestling, was going to drown him anyway?
I mean, the thing with that is, it's funny. You are an athlete. You're an elite athlete who your job is to prepare for a competition. Now, you prepared for that competition. Did Leon not know that he was going to be fighting at altitude? He did. And he prepared. He was there 2 weeks or so before, and that still happened. Now, the one thing that you guys have to really account for is, I know you guys hear a lot of those excuses from him. That wasn't the first time Leon and I had fought. And that first fight looked a lot like that second fight. So if he wants to believe that it was the altitude, then it is what it is. He can believe that. But nothing changes for me, altitude or no altitude. I know what I come to do.
And he seems to think that the knockout's going to have an effect on you mentally. Did you hear his comments on that, and what are your thoughts?
Leon hasn't wrestled in over 300 wrestling matches like I have. Leon hasn't competed as many times as I have. You know, when you get pinned, and I've been in a situation to where I've lost the first match, wrestling match of the day. Now you're in the consolation bracket, and you just it's a dogfight to try to get back up on that podium. And I've been on that podium a lot of times. And so it's, to that statement, I would say is, it's warranted when you're speaking about ordinary things and ordinary people. So people think, oh yeah, that's so typical. When something like that, a trauma happens, you know, most people are gonna gonna be disturbed about it. Yeah, that's when you're speaking about ordinary people. But Leon Edwards and I both know that I am not ordinary. I am extraordinary.
Thank you.
Leon, just over here. Going off of what you said about the first round, being able to take him down, does that give you added confidence going into this one?
I wouldn't say added confidence, because I've always been confident in my ability, but it just gives me confirmation, you know, that I can take him down, you know, and once he hit the mat and I'm on top, he hasn't got much to offer for defense-wise. Everyone's good when they're on top of you, pause. But, but once I'm on top, like you see, like I took the back like that, you know, there was no resistance for me taking his back. And so yeah, there's, like I said, confirmation I can use in going into the third fight. And I will, you know.
And, you know, even Khabib has said in the past, you know, after that knockout, that he wasn't sure, you know, if you suffer a knockout like that, if you'll ever be the same again. What do you believe? Do you think he's going to come in and approach this fight any differently?
Who knows? Who knows? That's the question, right? He's 36 years old, been in many tough fights. He thought he could never be beaten. And then to be sparked like that does have a mental thing on you, you know. I know he pretended like he doesn't care and he was happy he got knocked out because the pressures of champion is too hard, and I'm happy that I got knocked out, but like for me, it doesn't make no sense, you know. And so we're so set Saturday night whether or not it makes a difference, but you best believe I'll be trying to knock him out again.
And moments ago, we spoke to Leon Edwards, and he believes that you're on your way out and that he will open the door for you on Saturday. What's your reaction to those comments?
Oh, he's going to open the door for me because I'm the king. He opened the door for me to walk through. And I'm going to tell him, all right, you can come in now. You know, no, I mean, the funny thing about that is I almost feel like he's forgetting what happened 24 minutes in the last fight. Don't you guys feel that? Yeah, of course, it was a beautiful technique and you landed it, which I'm a fan of. I'm like, damn, that was beautiful. Give him props for it, but you're forgetting what happened. What did you display in those two fights that leads you to believe you're a better mixed martial artist than me? I am on my way out. I don't want to get punched in the face forever. That is very, very true. You know, I'm not trying to do this for another 10 years. Absolutely not. In that sense, yeah, I am on my way out, but I'll leave when I'm good, well, and ready. Until then, like the Wolf of Wall Street, you know what he said. I'm not going nowhere.